Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast.
One of the main issues of the Nick Sorensen experiment was just horrible tackling. And, he went through his philosophy a couple times and walked through and just probably one of the worst philosophical ideas on tackling that I've ever heard in my coaching, playing, covering this, whatever you want to call it. Just awful. Well, at number 22, you have the remedy to the situation, and that's Nick Martin, rookie linebacker. Just tackle, baby. Like, one of the best tacklers from the linebacker position to come out of the draft in several years. Now, don't get me wrong. There are question marks to his games with the injury, with lack of experience, all those things. But there's one thing that is non-questionable whenever you watch his tape. Absolute beast tackler. And I know a lot of people want to say, oh, well, he's the Dre Greenlaw replacement. He might play the same position as Dre Greenlaw. He might eventually be the long-term answer to the number 2 linebacker next to Fred Warner like Dre Greenlaw was. They are not the same player. Doesn't mean he doesn't hit hard, but he's not that enforcer, killer, whatever. He is a wrap-up tackling machine that gets the job done, and don't be surprised when Nick Martin leads this team in tackles for an entire year, similar to Dre Greenlaw, just with a different facet. Nick Martin, rookie, going to be wearing jersey number 45, comes in at number 22 on our roster countdown this year. And he's small, he is fast, he tackles. How small is he? Almost too small. 5'11", 221. His height is 6% of NFL linebackers. His weight is 2 percentile. But it comes with a caveat as well. Robert Saleh. He is a small linebacker fiend. Dre Greenlaw was small. Jamie Sherwood was small. Aziz Al-Shire was small. These are the types of guys that he wants in his system that can fly around, speed, all gas, no brakes, whatever cliche you want to put out there, violence. Nick Martin brings that. 31-inch arms is very small, 22 years old, 4.53 40-yard dash, that's elite. 90th percentile of NFL linebackers speed. 1.54 10-yard split, elite for linebackers. 7'2", 3-cone, 38-inch vertical, elite. Broad jump, 10-3, elite. Bench press, 26, elite. So he's small. He doesn't have height, doesn't have weight, doesn't have length. But that doesn't come across on tape. The athleticism, explosiveness is there. Athletic comp is Owen Popo, and playstyle comp's Matt Milano. I just saw it a lot. Now, if you missed it right after the draft, we had the opportunity to have Nick Martin on 49ers Rush. You can just go type in Nick Martin interview. It will pull up. Man, we had him on for about 25 minutes. It was an absolute blast. And, I had the privilege to ask him a handful of questions. We're going to play 3 clips from that interview during today's Spotlight. I asked him, what is your linebacker mindset, and what was it like talking with Robert Saleh, and what is he preaching to you?
So my mindset is staying alive and tackle the guy with the ball. Not burying yourself, and when you're going against old linemen, staying alive and keeping that distance and making them play in space, because that's where us linebackers thrive. So obviously, and going for the ball, looking for those opportunities to get those punches or those strip attempts out. And yeah, my mindset is really just kill the guy with the ball, take his head off, get one of those highlight plays, controlled aggression, you know what I mean? And yeah, man, and just setting the tone for the whole defense, so.
I am curious, in your talks with Robert Saleh, how many times has that guy said violence already? I feel like every other word out of his mouth is just violent. Is that already kind of being echoed from the coaches to you?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like they like playing fast, and all gas, no brakes. That type of mentality, and that's what I love. Not being timid, not worried about mistakes, but playing fast and trusting the guy next to you, and playing in a way that the game is supposed to be played. And I feel like that's the 49ers mentality, and that's my mentality. So it's a great fit.
Gotta really respect just the overlap in mentality and just, speed, play style, all those things. Absolutely love it. Now, Nick Martin is from Texas. Man, there's a lot of Texas players on here. Texarkana, Texas, went to Pleasant Grove High School, then committed to Oklahoma State and played there. Youngest of 4 brothers, and he talked about, being the youngest and just fighting for everything with 4 older brothers and kind of that competitive lifestyle, nature growing up, and just always competing. That is huge. He played running back and linebacker in high school, also track and field. He's got the speed, was a 3-star recruit, chose Oklahoma State over Kansas State and Texas Tech, and wasn't a starter there until 2023. This is one of the kind of knocks on his place that, like, we do a 49ers fit scale for every player. I had a 9 out of 10 on Nick Martin, and the only reason why he wasn't a 10, because he's the ideal build, everything, with just lack of experience. Usually Robert Saleh goes after these guys that have played a lot. Nick Martin has not. He had to wait until 2023 to become the guy, the all-purpose starter. Unbelievable year, but then he got hurt in 2024 with an MCL. So he has 1 full year and about 5 games of experience. Not a lot, but first team all Big 12 in his only year starting, just went freaking bananas. We'll talk more about his stats and all those things there. Met with the 49ers at the Combine and, just has something to offer. And that is just tackling and speed. That is everything. Fred Warner said, during OTAs that Martin has been asking all the right questions, following him around, truly trying to learn during OTAs and minicamp. And, coming off an injury, you were a little concerned, but after his Combine performance and all those things, the 49ers go and get him. And, John Lynch said, if we could have scripted day one, our first 3 picks, it would have been Mikael Williams, Alfred Collins, Nick Martin. You want to put that at its face value? I don't know if you trust them. Like, those really were their 3 guys. But when they saw that Nick Martin pick and you saw Robert Saleh just going bananas in the draft room, like, this was somebody that they were super excited about and thought would have been a second rounder if it wasn't for the injury. So we'll have to see what that looks like. He gets drafted the 3rd round, pick 75, and probably one of the coolest things, just talking to him, I was able to ask him, man, walk us through what that draft process was like and getting selected by the 49ers.
Yeah, man, it was crazy. So I was sitting there with my family, everybody kind of doing their own thing, and me and my girl was sitting like in the corner just talking. Then I seen a California number call me, and I automatically knew who it was because I had been talking to them a lot during the whole process. And it's actually a dream come true because that's my favorite team, and that's the team I wanted to go to and play for, and the organization I want to be a part of. So I mean, it's a blessing. I'm just excited to get ready to work, and I'm hungry, man. So
I love. Now, were you kind of surprised, like, when the call came? Day 2 was. I know it goes so fast, but, like, were there other teams, and did they talk to you about, like, the range they were trying to target you, and, like, where your agent was saying, "Look, we think we're going to go around this round to this round"?
yeah, so when I was talking to my agents, they told me that it's gonna be day 2. That it's a high percentage chance that I'll go day 2, even though all the mock drafts was saying otherwise. I wasn't really paying attention to that. It was kind of funny. But so my agents, they told me that I was gonna go day 2, and so I was waiting patiently for that call. Day 1, I just sat there and watched my guys go, and I was excited for them, super happy for all them guys because I trained with them and got to know them dudes. And then day 2 was the days, and it happened, and it ended up getting on the call that I wanted it to. So that was a blessing. Super excited.
How cool is that? Going to the team that he wanted to go to. I mean, if you're a linebacker, of course you want to play next to Fred Warner, the best in the NFL, one of the best coverage linebackers of all time, but also Robert Saleh. Look how much money he has made, so many different players that he has drafted. So to be the next coined linebacker from the great Robert Saleh, that means a lot. Now, my film write-up, or our film write-up, not mine. We have a whole team here. Sorry, not trying to be selfish there. Before he was drafted, right? Speed, pass rush upside, heat-seeking missile. Crazy fun tape. Only 1 year of production, missed most of 2024 with the torn meniscus, which happened in October. Famously ran down Xavier Worthy in the open field, one of the fastest player in the NFL. Great blitzer, spy with 6 sacks and limited reps. Just a highlight reel tackler that arrives with bad intentions. Wish he was bigger with more experience. Experience, I gave him a 3. Versatility, a 6. Speed, 8. Acceleration, 9. We had a 4th round grade on him. He went in the 3rd round, and he got us a little bit with mock drafts, had us going later. But it was a bad linebacker class overall, and so that's going to push elite traits up, that acceleration, tackling ability, all those things. I mean, that's what makes things so special about him. Now, his college career, 203 tackles, 24 tackle for loss, 7 sacks, 2 interceptions, 2 pass breakups, 2 fumble recovers, 2 forced fumbles. And, man, he signed a 4-year, $6.5 million deal, $1.4 million signing bonus. Only 19 games started. That is not a lot. Only 25 games played. That is not a lot. Last year, before the injury, only played 387 snaps. Not a lot. Now, in those snaps, he had 38 tackles. That's 1 tackle every 10 snaps. 8 tackle for loss, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble. You look at his PFF scores, not as high as his 2023 tape. Overall grade 66.5, run grade 63, tackling grade 62, QBR allowed 79, coverage grade 59. You are drafting somebody with an elite skill set. Somebody that can tackle. You ain't got to worry about coverage with Nick Martin. Yeah, he's going to be covering out there, but you got Fred Warner. You just want somebody that can run, hunt, tackle running backs, and just be the for sure tackle. He does that in spades, and I'm super excited about that. Now, this will be the last clip we play. I asked him, what's your goal heading into training camp in week 1? What is it you are trying to accomplish? Dude, are you planning to jump in? You want to start week 1? Like, what is your goal, your mindset taking into this roster?
Yeah, my goal is to come in and start week 1. Come in and earn that spot and be that guy that they trust. And play alongside Fred and those guys and everybody in the back end and the guys in front of me as well. They got drafted and the guys that's already there, like Nick Bosa. I'm just excited to play with those guys and improve to them and earn the best respect. And show the coaches that they made the perfect decision with picking me and showing that they believing in the right guy.
Show the coaches they made the perfect decision. Now, he's going to have to earn his stripes. And, we're in training camp now. He is not getting 1 reps. D. Winters, Luke Gifford are getting snaps ahead of him. I love that. I want him to have to earn it to the point where it's like, look, you have to put me on that field. And it's going to take some time, but through training camp and preseason, he's going to get those chances. And with an inexperienced linebacker, week 1, you're playing against, come on now. Yeah, it's a division opponent at Seattle. That game's going to matter. I think it's going to slowly bring him into the fold. Now, we did that clip before the schedule was even released, but he will be started at some point in the season. Will he start at linebacker 3, then earn linebacker 2? That's what you're hoping with Nick Martin. But, him and D. Winters, however that shakes out, I don't really care. As long as those 3 guys are out there. D. Winters has been in the system for several years now. I think he has the experience, but eventually it's going to be Nick Martin. Remember, D. Winters was not a Robert Saleh pick. They coined Nick Martin to come in and be that guy. Drafted him in the 3rd round. Guess where the linebacker Fred Warner was drafted by Robert Saleh? 3rd round. They expect a lot. Now, this team is a little bit different than that 2018 49ers, but Nick Martin will be a guy whenever it is all said and done. Thank you, Josh, to helping write this episode. And for us and the 49ers Rush team, we're just going to keep counting them down.